Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.
Guys, I have another beauty queen with me, and she's a great friend too, so I don't try as much as possible to keep that friendship thing going. I have to keep this respected, and because she's a beauty queen, so I have to keep all that respect. And you know how beauty queens are treated with a lot of honor. So she was MBGN, most beautiful girl in Nigeria world, the year 2021, just after COVID. So it was a lot that went on for her. So obviously, we're here again, we're talking. And you know, every time you and I see, it's always about your pageant thing and your work. But this time, I'm going to get a bit more personal. And the question I always want to ask beauty queens is, how do you ladies deal with guys?
We don't understand.
Yeah, because I'm sure you'd have a lot of them slipping into your
all
DM.
the time.
Yeah, so how do you deal with that?
It's hard. I think it's you're put on a pedestal and everybody just wants a piece of you, and so you really just have to protect your energy. You have to know exactly what you're looking for. It helps to filter that out, because a lot of times when you're in this position, a lot of guys just want you for what you symbolize, right? They like the image of you, but they don't actually get to know you. So first of all, anyone that's coming to me already saying I like all of that, we're not gonna do that. But if you genuinely want to get to know me as a person and know what's behind the beauty, because I feel like that's what sustains, right? My beauty will fit, as much as I love it. So I will sustain for a long time, but but it's hard. It's so hard. Dating is almost impossible. And all of a sudden, as soon as you start rejecting people, then you're prideful, you're pompous, and they will call you all sorts of names. So honestly, you just have to pray and, just hope for the best. I think you can see, not a lot of the beauty queens are blessed in marriage. It's hard.
I'm going to ask that question. Can you have a crown on your head and date? Did you try it? Was it something that you wanted to try, or something you tried?
Well, at the time, actually, when I went MBGN, I actually was speaking to somebody in America. I already had somebody that I was speaking to.
Yeah.
So for most of my reign, that was what it was. So I never really tried, but I wasn't interested in doing that. Funny enough, I didn't even want to be a queen, having my reign, having somebody there. It just kind of happened, right? But I think it's extremely difficult, because you also have your, especially when you have the crown, you have obligations that you have to meet.
Yeah.
And what relationships also take a lot of effort and
exactly.
time. So there's not always a lot of understanding there, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, when people want to be with the idea of you, they're not concerned about what the commitment looks like. They're not concerned about to see the behind the scenes, right? They just want that. And then when they can't have that, there's a lot of friction, and that's going to affect you adversely, because you can't show up the best way, because you're dealing with emotional problems.
Okay.
So I think it's better if you already have somebody, a strong relationship prior to becoming a beauty queen. I think that's sustainable. But starting something within your reign, I think you'll see a lot of friction. You'll see a lot of friction. I can say that for sure, because people are not going to feel like they're being the commitment level that they want to see is available to them. And then egos are hurt. Say no man with her.
I know, it's a lot. Now, you said something very important. It's the fact that as a human being and as a woman, that beauty physically will fade.
Absolutely.
What does that really mean? Because I've been told to, I've learned this, that our physical features are the weakest assets we possess. And this thing wears constant. We're shedding cells every day. When we're bathing, what we're doing is we're managing it. Right. So as a woman, the way I process that as a guy is different from a woman, because your body's changed constantly. 21st century, the beauty standards is global, and that's a lot of pressure on women.
Right.
And everybody's looking at Gigi Hadid and Kendall, and you want to look a certain way, you want your bellies to be flat. How do you, as a woman in this time, in this social media Gen Z age, deal with that?
I think, again, just understanding that your body will change, even as a woman, right? If you want to bear children, your body's going to go through that phase already. Yeah. Even just the realization that, God forbid, if you got in an accident, something happened, it's your physical aspect that's going to change. Your spirit might not change, it might be broken for a little bit, but you can always save that. And I think that's why you work on the beauty inside and really understand and be comfortable with the skin that God has put you in, right? And it's not an easy feat. It takes a lot of work, but it's you have to have the willingness to do that, and understand again that this will fade, right? So what is more important? What's inside, the substance behind it, and once you develop the substance, you find that the kind of love you have for yourself will transcend outside.
Yeah.
And to accept yourself also outside, because you are also accepting yourself internally.
Okay.
And then obviously, I think, you can do certain things that essentially you do, your makeup, dress well, but at the end of the day, those things are not the things that are most important, right? Your heart is the most important. And once your heart is beautiful and you know how to express that beauty from the inside to the outside, you will always be beautiful, irrespective of whatever societal standards say.
I'm happy you add on societal standards.
Yeah.
It's very heavy on social media. Now, how do women become immune to this because it's life-threatening now?
You know, I feel like with social media, there's a lot of things that are always being projected, right?
Yeah.
And there's this, you have to have a sense of like reality versus like what is not reality. On social media, people post their best moments, they post the highlights of their life, and so you need to remove yourself out of those situations to say like, okay, what is reality here? What is the cost of becoming like this? And what does that mean for me? You know, and I can't speak for everybody, but you know, I'm someone that I believe in like, you know, loving yourself and, you know, for who you are. But there are people that feel like they want to do something, they feel more comfortable. Again, I empathize because I can't ever understand how it must feel for you to like, you know, look at your body and feel like this is not what I should be in. But I definitely feel like for the younger generation coming up, like there's a reason that God made you the way that you are. You know, at the end of the day, I think that is you come from the source, and that's the creator, and you were created for a particular reason, in a particular way, how he was intended to make you. So, you know, keeping that in mind, having your foundations grounded, not being swayed by just worldly things, because it's easy for you to see somebody else and want to be like them.
Yeah.
But you're the only you that God created, so you need to take pride in being that person. Anything else that is, it's just because you're becoming a minion, you're becoming a clone of something else. It's just not authentic, right? And authenticity is something that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Because everything else, imagine now, like your favorite person, you know, like let's talk about like Black China, right? You know, she had her whole transformational phase, and all of a sudden she's taking out all her implants, and she's changing
she got baptized.
Yeah, she got baptized and all of that. So
taking out some of the tattoos.
And even some of her implants, like even some of her body work. So if she was your like idol, like, you know, which way are you moving, right? And so I think ultimately, if you are going to make a choice, make sure you're making it for yourself. And you know how you know that is for yourself is taking out time to actually reflect and see what you want. Okay, turn off all the screens, get off social media, give yourself a break so that you can really find yourself in all of this noise and know what do I want for me? What does my life need to look like? According to what makes me happy, not what makes the next person happy. Because if you're living with somebody else, you never find happiness. Something you're always going to chase. So I think it's just more so a mind over matter type of thing, and you have to really condition your mind and your heart to be in the right place for you to conquer that.
Oluchi, thank you. I wish we could go more because there are tons of other questions I want to ask you as a woman in this beauty industry and the time and the age we're in now. But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time. I'm still going to catch you. Thank you. You heard it from her, and she said some very deep stuff. Oluchi, thank you very much. Congratulations. If you're doing this again, I'm behind you.
Let's go.
It's a wrap.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.